You need to live a life full of stress and lots of risk if you want to make it and you want to achieve financial freedom. And this is why. So let's first break it down with the stock markets. Let's say you're investing or in trading or taking up entrepreneurship. These are all risky ventures. But let's think about it, okay? So let's say live a pretty safe life, okay? And for an investing or for an investor, that would be investing in index funds or the S&P 500 in order to make 10% return. And the downside is pretty minimal, maybe like 2%, 1%, and but you always generally make 10% in these bull markets. And sure, it might sound a bit good, you invest that 10K every single month and it adds up every single year. But think about it, would that 10% every single year, would that actually make you rich? Probably not, right? Because let's say when you're 50, you have all the money saved up, you're now retired, but you're old. You can't really, lift weights. You can't really live white. You can't live life anymore. You have to watch your diet. You know, you're old, right? Sure, you can pay to have more, better biology. Technology can be better in the future, but think about it. It's not going to be as good as if you're young. You're rich when you're young. On the other hand, let's say you took a life full of risk and full of, stress. That means investing in Palantir. So let's say you invested in Palantir at like, $20, crashed down to $6, and you held it. You held it despite all this turbulence, all this noise, and now it's $170. And that was a huge risk, right? Because Palantir could have went to zero. It could have had no revenues and it could have just crashed. But that's a risk you took. And that risk compounded into financial freedom because from $6 to $170, that's quite the multiplier, almost 19x. So that's what I mean by taking risks. And I think life is all about risk, whether it's investing with stocks, with anything. If you want to work in this 9 to 5 for the rest of your life, then sure, be my guest, right? But I do believe that if you're watching this video, you are destined for something more to life and you want to showcase that to the world. You want to impact the world. And I don't think you can impact the world by just sitting at a desk all day, whether it's coding, being an accountant. I think we're destined for more to life. And that's what I'm encouraging this video to take lots of risk. I want you guys to put yourself out there, put yourself in those uncomfortable situations that you're risking a lot, right? With stocks too, all these stocks that you pick that you want to buy into can go to zero. Anything you do in life, starting a business could even, you could lose all your money too. But I think that by taking risk, especially when you're under 30, is the best way to live your life because you have all your years of life in order to make money that you lost maybe during the stock markets or investing or making that business that you could easily recoup later on by working in another job. And I think it's better to live a life full of stories. Because think about it, when you have kids in the future or grandchildren, they're gonna want to talk to you. They're gonna be like, what kind of stories do you have to tell us? How were you when you were a young guy? And I think in those situations, it's always good to just say that you lived a life with no regrets. You know, beat the S&P. You traded, you lost like, $1 million. Hopefully it's not you, but like anyways, it's like doing these things makes life enjoyable and makes things pleasurable. So I want you guys to take that into consideration when you try something new in your life or want to take a risk or want to do something. I think risk is what makes life enjoyable because if you have no risks, there's no reward to life. So yeah, bit of a rant for me. Just letting you guys know about some life advice from yours truly. And yeah, you have any topics you want me to talk about in the next video, comment it down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.